We actually had a point where, like, in December, because, like, she, like, after a devotional one day, she came up to me and she's like, I think we should break up. And I'm like, oh.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. I
So
do
I'm
know
like,
that.
like, she's like, but I still want to stay with you until, like, Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, we, like, because I knew he was going on this cruise around Christmas time.
Uh-huh.
And I knew that I was going to get my mission call, hopefully. I thought I would have came sooner, but we were kind of had, like, an expiration date set for our relationship.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to The Marriage Phase. I'm Christine.
I'm Chase.
And we're so happy you're here. We recently got married only like 10 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow is our anniversary.
True.
So we like to talk all things being engaged, dating, and now married. But since we are very new at this married thing, we like to invite people who have been married or who have been engaged or dating.
Or are engaged.
Yeah. Like today. So today we have some very special people. We have Lizzy and Cameron who are going to share their story with us that I'm so excited to hear.
Yes.
So tell us, like, what you guys are up to. Like, kind of give us a little intro.
Cameron, you start.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm Cameron. I grew up in Riverton. Going to my junior year of BYU. I want to study advertising. So I'm going we'll see. Like tomorrow I'll hear back from the advertising program if I get in or not.
Yeah.
So
Holy
hopefully I get in, right?
cow.
So
But he's
Unless
got to
if you
clear
do.
out his email. It's way
Yeah.
too full, so he might not even get it.
that's another story. Yeah, we're currently making a book of all my mission stories. You know what I'm saying? Like my journal on the mission were my emails. Like I sent emails every week.
yes.
So
So we
anyway, we still haven't
put them all
gotten to
together.
that. So we sent them all to my BYU email, thinking that we had like unlimited storage on that, but we don't.
Not even
I'm
close.
like, oh,
That's
I'm kind of
so
cooked there.
unfortunate. That's,
Yeah.
You're like,
so
wait.
it is what it is, you know. But
So real.
it's kind of what I'm up to. We're kind of working for the summer. We both we work at BYU TV. So,
Oh,
no way.
dang.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
it
this
sounds-
is like
it sounds
second
cool.
nature?
Yeah. No, not really. We work
Yeah.
in the more like technical things. I work in like distribution management, so I like release the shows and things like that.
Dang.
And Cameron works on the BYU TV site, like the website.
yeah,
So
so I
cool.
just kind of like manage
That's
the lists
crazy.
you see. You know, like in Netflix, you see like all these recommended.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
kind of what I do. It's like,
So
you know,
cool.
yeah. So anyway, it's fun.
That's so
fun.
You guys have like my dream job.
Yeah,
really.
Talk to
Tru-
Chase after.
truly, like that was like what I wanted to do. I was like, I really want to do advertising, but
Oh,
I'm doing
that's
marketing, so it's kind of
Yeah,
similar.
you're still in
Yeah.
business. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome. Fun.
So cool.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Colorado, actually, and we moved here in 2022. I have 9 siblings. Shout out the Williams family. My brother is married, and they have a daughter, and they just found out they're having a boy too. They're pregnant again. Super exciting. It's a little boy and a girl, which is so exciting. And then my brother is. Well, one of my brothers is on a mission. Same mission as you, Chase.
Crazy.
Good place.
Yes, Scotland, Ireland. I have another brother doing FSY. He's loving it. And then all my other siblings are just enjoying summer. So that's exciting. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They have it good.
They do.
I didn't
Yes.
realize how good it was.
I
just
know.
enjoying summer, not working,
Just
doing
not doing
nothing.
anything. Oh, I wish.
They have a pool, so they're
Oh
always
yeah,
in the
they're just
pool.
swimming every single day.
Yeah.
Our
really
AC
dream.
was out like 2 weeks ago, and I felt so bad for them. They just swam
Mm.
all day though, so now they're all like orange. They're like so
Dang.
tan.
They're so
Yeah.
I want the
I'm
Williams
jealous.
to adopt me.
Yeah, can
Literally,
you
That would
adopt
be
us?
I want the Williams.
Please take us in.
I love it. That's so funny.
So cool. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So you moved here, and this is so cool because you guys, they're engaged. I don't know if we,
Yeah, we are. We got
to
engaged
mention
also.
Hurrah.
Yes,
Married
in
so
April.
soon.
Yes, we're so
Oh
excited.
my gosh. Okay, tell us how you met. I want to hear this story. This is the crazy story.
This is this is a good story. I'll start. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for
Okay,
it.
so basically, I had just graduated high school last year. And came
No
into
way.
college. Yes, I know.
I did
just
not
turned-
know that.
I just
You would've
turned
never
19,
guessed.
so
Yeah, she
No, I
does.
thought you were
so
at least
cool,
25.
though. That is
Yes,
so cool,
yes,
though.
That is
19,
so
a
cool.
19-year-old bride. Yes.
cool.
So I graduated high school and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on a mission. Like I've been wanting to go on a mission, but I was like kind of like questioning it. Anyways, got endowed at the end of August and was like, let's go to BYU. Let's have a good state of mind. Like, let's go on a bunch of dates and everything. I went on some mutual dates and they were terrible. Like this one guy, I don't know if he'll listen to this, but he sent me a message. He was like, hey, you want to go hammocking? I have some hammocks with an S. So I'm like, okay, yeah, 2 hammocks. Like, let's go hammocking.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. No.
We showed up to the park.
Oh,
No.
He has 1 hammock.
No.
I was like, are you kidding me?
No,
And I was
first
like,
date.
first date.
This
and
is the first time you ever met this guy?
Yeah, first time I ever met
Oh,
this
no.
guy. He was an odd dude. I'm pretty sure he had the same name as my dad. Like, it was a little awkward.
Oh.
But
That's already a red flag.
yeah, literally.
Couldn't do it.
Anyways, so I'm like forced to like sit there and like cuddle him in this hammock, and I'm like, what is going on? This is so weird. And then he's like, can I kiss you? I was like, no.
No.
I was like, actually, sorry, I have to like go. I like texted my roommates like my code word, and they were like, Lizzy, we need you to come home. I was like, okay.
No, I can't. After that date, how did you feel about dating? Probably
Oh,
not great.
yeah. Well, I was just kind of like, this is weird. Like, Provo guys are odd. He was an RM. I was like, you're kind of odd. So I was a little worried, a little sketched, but I hadn't like met anybody in classes or anything. And this is only like a week and a half into school, so I was like giddy. I was ready to get going, but
Yeah.
I matched with Cameron on Mutual, and I had spent I had gotten Mutual when I turned 18, and so I was like, spending a few months like DMing people and like asking them out, giving them compliments, and like none of it had really worked that well, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Cameron sent me a gold note on Mutual, so he spent the 1 gold note a week or whatever it is. He sent me something, and he was like, hey, gorgeous, want to go out, or like something like that. And I was so impressed. I was like, dang.
Bold.
I was like,
Yeah,
okay. I was like, I like this guy, and
Which is
so
funny, yeah, because I never really did that. Like, I never really sent like gold notes. So I'm like, this is like, do girls even respond to these? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I saw her and I was like, you know what? Like, I'll just try it this one time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, and so I said like, you're gorgeous or something like that. Like, let's go out.
that.
I don't know. But I didn't really expect anything because I'm like, do girls think this is like tacky? You know, like to send a gold note? Like, is it like too desperate or something?
Apparently
you know?
not.
Apparently, I mean,
I don't
it
know. Yeah, it
worked.
worked out for
Married
me.
next
So
month.
Yes.
yeah, for real. So it worked out for me. So
Yeah.
that's great. For us, right? So.
Yes, it totally worked out. Yeah, but it was really sweet. I was very touched by the fact that he reached out, because I felt like I had been trying really hard with other people and I hadn't got anything, and then he reached out and I was like, okay, I'm getting some attention. I like this. And so I got his number. I still have our first text messages. I scroll back on them sometimes. It's really funny. And
love doing that.
he texted me and he was like, hey, Lizzy, this is Cameron from Mutual. And I was like, what's up? And then we planned a date. We were gonna go. I don't even know what we were originally gonna do.
I don't know. I think I had planned something boring like ice cream or something like that. But then,
Yeah,
but then you were like, actually, let's go to this concert venue in Provo. And I was like, oh, that sounds great.
And my roommate, Olivia, she had some friends that were playing a song there, and she was like, oh, we're gonna go see them. You should bring this guy. And I was like, okay. And so I canceled our original date that we were gonna do on a Thursday. And I was like, oh, sorry, I can't go. And he was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, but what if we go out on Friday? And he was like, okay, hype, this is good. And then I brought up this idea. So we went there. He was 20 minutes late picking me up. So I thought he was actually ghosting me. I was like, oh, I'm getting stood up right now. It was so funny.
Yeah, that was
But
funny.
then we drove there and we listened to the concert. It was super fun. And then we got swig, as most everybody does afterwards. And then we watched Ratatouille. So great movie.
Yeah,
That
so-
has a
Ends
special
the
place in
day.
our heart.
Yeah.
yeah, I have a close place for it.
We hung out a bunch after that. We were low-key make-out buddies. Terrible to say, but that was essentially what it was. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But and I was still convinced I wasn't gonna have a boyfriend. I was like, no, I'm gonna go on a mission. I'm gonna get a boyfriend. And then we went to a football game, and his roommate Parker was making jokes that I was his girlfriend. And so later that night, I was like, Cameron, I'm not your girlfriend. We're not dating and everything. And then the next day was general conference, and he didn't talk to me at all. And I was like, oh, I just screwed everything up. I was stressing. I was looking at my phone every 5 minutes to see if he texted me. Nothing. I was like, oh, he hates me. And then he texted me and he was like, have you seen my finger brace? I lost it. And I was like, great. That's the only thing you say to me.
Some context. I broke I broke my finger And so it's just like a running joke because I literally like hit up Liz like one time and I was like, hey, like I'm kind of coached because I haven't been wearing my finger brace. And my
His doctor was yelling at him.
super mad at me, and I'm gonna have to go to like finger therapy and get this weird surgery in my
Finger
finger.
therapy?
I'm like, what is
that a
this,
thing?
bro? I'm like, Liz, what do I do? And she's like, wear your stupid brace. I'm like, you're right. Yeah.
It was so
That's
funny.
hilarious.
So I left
It was
that
so funny.
Yeah, at your house a couple times, but yeah, it was good. It was a fun date.
So fun.
Yeah. It was
So
a good
during
time.
this, were you like purposely not texting her, or just like didn't even think of it?
Oh yeah. So like when she okay, so a little bit of context. Like we're at the football game, and like my buddy is there too with us.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you guys are like pretty much like girlfriend boyfriend now. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Bro. Like, we haven't talked about that, dog. we haven't defined the relationship yet, you know. And so and like I didn't want to like come off as like, Lizzy, I'm always talking about you in the apartment, like you're my girlfriend. Like I never like said that in the apartment.
Yeah.
And
He just wanted that.
he just name dropped that, and I was like, I never said that, dog. Like I'm not saying this. Like I'm not like obsessing over you right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, like. Because I was like really like hands off. Like I take my time a little bit. Like I took a month, and so like we defined it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Because I wanted to have like a couple of dates and just like take it slow for a little bit. You know. But we were hanging out a lot though.
We
like,
hung out,
we
like,
hung out
every
like a lot,
day.
like, every day.
Or at
like,
least we
every
tried
other day,
to. I was
you know?
working a ton though, so actually we didn't hang out that much.
So I knew
It was
like.
like every free day.
Yeah.
And like she did go on other dates, and I did too. But like I just knew like I was getting the majority of her time. So I was like that's a win, you know. So like even though we weren't like official, like we were like close to it, you know. And but but then like I can't remember. We hung out one night, and Lizzy like told me like she just kind of out of nowhere was like, yo, what are we, you know? And I was like, oh, I was like, not
Whoa. Just wait a second there. This is basically, we started having a conversation and I was like, okay, this is like maybe a week or two after what had originally happened. And so I was like, okay, I just need to tell him I have feelings for him. Because I was like, I don't want to like date him, but I do have feelings. Then I was like I was just battling this inner turmoil. I was like, do I date a guy? Like, what if it keeps me from going on a mission? Plot twist. But, but I was like, okay, I'm going to tell him. So we went on this little drive and we like parked and I told him, I was like, yeah, like, Cameron, I kind of have feelings for you. Like, I feel like I think about you all the time and I always just want to be around you and everything. Oh. And he sat there and he like was like staring at me and I was like, so what do you think? And he's like, I think we're kind of just like friends with benefits. You don't even know. Cut straight to the heart. And I have given him grief for this ever since that happened. I'm so sorry, Cameron. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I told all of his roommates to run down and they were appalled. They were like, Cameron, why the heck would you ever say that? Like, what? And
yeah, she was pretty mad at me.
He just must have been out of his head because I gave him a full 20 seconds after I was literally like, yeah, I really like you, Cameron. What are you thinking? He was like, what do I say? Well, I think we're friends with benefits. Like, what? Like,
well, okay. A little bit of context here. She told me she's like, we were like hanging out at her house. This is before I said this, though. And she was like, yeah, like I don't really want a boyfriend right now. You know what I'm saying? Like she was like kind of gave me like that defined the relationship kind of talk. You know?
Okay.
And so I was like, okay. I was like, I respect that. You know, it's like I still really liked her and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to like push it too much. And so like when I said that. I was still under the like premonition that she wanted to like stay not get anything
stay mega buddies.
not you know what I'm saying, like not stay mega but like you know like just keep it casual instead of
go
like
on dates
get it serious because I didn't know that she was ready for that.
Yeah.
Because like she wanted to go on a mission and I was like respecting that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, okay, you don't want to get anything serious like so. So I said the friend with benefits thing. Like I was like, yeah, like I just think like we're like in the best way possible. I think that's what I said.
He did not say no.
Hey, but I realize now that was like a very bad thing to say. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the really. but anyway, it worked out anyway, right? So
it worked out.
I apologized to her. Like she was mad at me, but you know.
Yeah, I didn't talk to him for literally like a week. Like, well, I did talk to him, but I was like so dry. Like I was like so upset. I was like, gosh. But yeah, I totally like. Yeah, my feelings were also mixed.
But like she came over to my house like the end of the week, and like I took her on a walk, and I was like, yeah, Lizzy, like I'm sorry if that like conversation went the wrong way. I do really like you, like I do really have feelings for you, you know, and like I want to see where this goes. You know?
Totally.
I don't know if that was the moment when we decided to be. I can't remember.
My sister, so my
No,
family
that
had
wasn't actually.
come up from Ogden because we moved to Ogden. And they'd come up literally like the day before we had this conversation. And I was talking with my sister about like how I felt about Cameron. And she was like, well, like no one expects you to go on a mission except yourself. And that like struck me. I was like, dang, wow, like really no one does. Like, I mean, it's so awesome for girls to go on missions, and it's not a priesthood responsibility like it is for guys, but it's like still super cool if you go on a mission. Like you went on a mission and it was awesome, and even though you had to come back, like you still had a fantastic time, and you got married. So it's great. But that kind of like struck me, and I was like, okay, like I need to calm down. Like it's like totally fine, and maybe this is like totally God's plan. And I took like a video like explaining everything out loud. I was like, yeah, Lord told me this, and what if I'm supposed to marry Cameron? Like what if I'm supposed to be with him, and this is Heavenly Father's way of like letting me date guys before I go on a mission? Like either I date this guy and I marry him, or I date someone else and marry them, or I go on a mission and I get married after. Like I was just like laying out all these things, and I realized that dating Cameron was the best thing I needed to do. And so
That's
like
crazy.
a week later we started dating. Yeah, like November 3rd.
Yeah, because was that end of October when that happened?
Yeah, I was like the end of October.
Okay, so yeah, then we had like our official date where like I asked her to be my girlfriend, you know.
Oh,
Like,
so
I
at that point you
got a
weren't
few
even
flowers.
We weren't
officially
even
dating.
officially dating it. That's why it was like, it sounds crazy. Like I was like so confused when we weren't even dating. We were just like talking or whatever. But like I was like in love with this dude, and I like just like couldn't like actually admit to myself that I wanted to go out with him because I was so stuck on I need to go on a mission. And anyways, yeah, we went over that, and then he brought me flowers and asked me out, and we went to this terrible like place that gave us almost food poisoning. So that was funny. But so that was November 3rd, and then I think November 16th or 18th is the day that the church came out with the news that 18-year-old girls could go on their missions.
Oh.
And I remember it. I felt so sick, and I was working at CVS. I was working in the pharmacy, and I was like, I need to go buy a snack. Like, I'm going to like pass out. I felt so sick. And so I was walking in the aisle buying some crackers, and like my phone starts blowing up, and I open up my phone, and it's my friend Sarah, and she's on her mission now in Germany. Lit mission,
Wait, which
crazy.
That's crazy mission.
Berlin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's so cool. And she's like, Lizzy, like, look at this stuff. Like, this is amazing and everything. And I'm like, what is this? And I click on it. It's the church saying, like, 18-year-olds can serve mission. I literally started crying. Like, I was so excited. I had my mission papers done in August. Like, I was done with everything. I was literally just waiting to turn my papers in.
No way.
And so I was just like so excited, so pumped, and I like called my dad, and I literally like set up an appointment with the stake president to meet the very like next Sunday to turn in my papers. Like I was so excited.
Whoa.
But at the same time, I was like texting Cameron, and I like sent him a screenshot of it, and he like left me on red, and then he replied later, and he was like, "This is so exciting, Liz. Like I'm so excited for you," and I could just like feel kind of like the sadness in his like text messages, you know.
Yeah.
What was you feeling?
I mean, I remember because you weren't the first one to tell me that was.
Oh, I
happening.
wasn't?
I remember in my family group chat, my dad sent like a screenshot of like the church announcing that, and I was like, oh my, this is gonna change everything for Lizzy.
Yeah, he
you know,
just
like I just
knew.
thought that, you know, like and like I always and throughout this whole process, I was very like respectful of like her decision.
was.
Like I wasn't trying to pressure her to stay, you know.
Or anything.
But
yeah,
you know, I was trying to be like very hands off. Like, yeah, you just make your decision, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did feel like sad. Like, you know, like those emotions were still there. Like I was like, oh yeah, like she's gone. I was like, she's definitely leaving because I knew how much she wanted to go on a mission. Right?
Yeah.
And like at that point in our relationship, like we didn't know if like we were gonna like last like, you know,
past
like,
the mission.
past-
Like we didn't know if it was
past,
worth it for him to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because like at that point, I guess we knew that she would go in like June. So like she would put her papers in like this summer, right? Mm-hmm. And so we knew we had like probably like 8 months of dating, you know, in there if we dated the whole time. And so I was like, okay, so I was like more mentally prepared for that. But then I'm like, oh crap, like she can be leaving in like 2 months, you know, like she can be getting her a call in like 2 months and like leave in 3. So I was like, wow, like it was shocking. It was very shocking for me, you know. And I was like, I was happy for you, you know. I was happy for the decision you were gonna make, but I was like also very sad. And I was like, just kind of like, man, it's like kind of like gut punched, you know.
It is.
Yeah.
That actually is.
you
Hearing
know.
that story,
Very
I
sad.
could feel it.
I was like, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I kind of punched him again because I decided I was originally going to turn in my papers and have my availability date be right after school's done. So like in April or May. But then me and my dad talked and I was like, I'm going to set it for December 17th, the day after winter semester ends. And so I got everything ready to move out of my apartment on campus and all of this stuff. And I'd had my papers turned in since the very end of November. And by this point, it was like December 18th. So like my availability date had already passed and I still hadn't gotten my call, which was crazy. And we were hanging out over Christmas break and I suddenly like got my call. Like I like got a text message and it was like the 22nd or something like that of December. And I was like, holy cow, like it took so long to get my call. And I was so frustrated
How many
by
weeks
that.
did it take?
So it was, I think I turned in my papers like November like 25th or something like that. I don't know, whatever the Sunday is closest to that. And so I waited almost an entire month for my call.
That's
And I was so upset because every Monday and every Friday and every Wednesday, whatever the days people get their call, I would sit and wait for mine and I wouldn't get it. And all my friends were getting theirs. They would turn in their papers the week prior and get their call. And I was like, why is it taking so long for my call to get here? I was like, what is this? And my dad just kept saying like, they're really thinking about you. Like they want to know what's best. So I get my call. And I'm with Cameron and we wait a day. That way I can open it with my family and he can come down and everything. So it was like December 23rd, I opened my call and I got called to Raleigh, North Carolina. Super cool mission. His dad
love
served
that
in
mission.
North Carolina.
I
Oh, you
served
love that
there.
mission?
Yeah, I visa waited there. Yeah.
No way.
No
That's so
freaking
cool.
way.
Cool place. Cool place.
That's hard.
And your dad
Good
served
players.
Yeah, my dad served in Charlotte, Michigan.
Charlotte,
Oh,
North
yeah,
Carolina,
yeah.
but
It's
still
like right
same
next to
state,
it.
you know?
Same state.
Super cool. I took that as a little sign. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, we're connected. But I was a little disappointed. I got called to the U.S. I was more than disappointed. I cried for like 3 days. I was so sad. Like, and I know you shouldn't be sad where you get called on your mission, but everybody wants to leave
Yeah.
the United States. And all my brothers had been called outside of the United States. And so I was just like, well, like, why is it me? And I turned to a lot more of like insecure thoughts, like, okay, maybe my testimony isn't strong enough. Maybe Heavenly Father doesn't trust me to leave. And it like was super sad. And I kind of like bummed out Cameron, I think. I was super sad about it and just like always, I don't know. I wasn't jealous of other people when they would get their calls outside of this, like the country, but I would like take it personally almost. I'd be like, oh, another one gets to leave and I'm the one stuck here. But Cameron went on a cruise during Christmas and until New Year's. And so I was just kind of by myself with my family and I got really excited about it. Like I was still sad, but I was like researching North Carolina, super excited. And then I remember we came back the day I saw Cameron again, we came back here and I moved in with my aunt in Provo because oh my gosh, I didn't even mention this. My new leave date was May 20th. So I had a whole extra 6 months. I'm so sorry, I forgot that. That's such a vital part. But yeah, so Raleigh, North Carolina, leaving May
That's a long way.
20th. So not only did I not get called outside of the United States, I also got called 6 months later, which is crazy.
And
So
your
I was-
availability was December.
was December 17th, and I got called May 20th. I was
Oh
like,
my
this is
gosh.
insane. But
Wow.
yeah, but we were just excited we had more time together.
Yeah.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, were you excited?
I was hyped.
We came back to school and we started
Okay,
winter
yeah.
semester. So I moved back here to do winter semester. Cameron was back here. And I don't know if we like had a conversation one day or not. Do you think we had a conversation?
We actually had a point where like in December, because like she like after her devotional one day, she came up to me and she's like, I think we should break up. And I'm like, oh.
Oh
okay.
yeah, I
So
did
I'm
know
like,
that.
like
way.
she's like, but I still want to stay with you until like Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, we like, because I knew he was going
Yeah.
on this cruise around Christmas time.
Uh-huh.
And I knew that I was going to get my mission call. Hopefully, I thought I would have came sooner, but we were kind of had like an expiration date set for our relationship, which is kind of weird to like say, but we were just like, there's no point in staying together if we don't know if we should wait. Like I would like wanted to leave that up to Matt. I didn't want to pressure him to do it,
Yeah.
and I knew
Right.
that I needed to like focus on getting ready to go on a mission, and I thought I was going to leave a lot sooner, so I was like, this won't be as painful or anything. But we got the mission call, and then I was like, oh, like we have time. Like this is good. We can still, be together.
Yeah.
So we came back to school.
This was winter semester?
Yeah, this is winter semester. So like January 7th or I don't know, whenever we started the semester, we must have had a conversation because the thought came into my head like, am I really supposed to go on a mission? And the very first devotional that we had, President Reese and his wife, they gave the devotional, and his wife said something like, sometimes you're caught between two good choices. And it like Heavenly Father leaves that choice up to you. And so that like kind of spoke to me because I hadn't really like said those feelings out loud. Like, oh, like, should I serve a mission or should I stay? Like I was like totally in love with Cameron, and I was like, I don't know if it's like worth it to leave him. And I think we sat down like probably mid-January and we're like, we need to start like praying and fasting about this. And so I took that super seriously, and I was reading my scriptures more than I ever had, and like reading all these conference talks. My brothers were sending me conference talks, and like my parents were talking with me, and I was going to the temple as much as I could. And I was asking Cameron to do it too, but it was more so, what do I do? Because I like kind of knew in my head, I was like, I want to get married. I think I should get married to Cameron, but do I go on a mission? Like, is this going to delay this? Is this like going to get rid of the opportunity? And so I told him, I was like, I would love it if you could pray about this or fast about it or whatever. But I knew that it was basically just really me that needed to choose, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you remember when we talked about that stuff?
I remember that it's just like it was really hard. It's a really big decision because it's either like, okay, she goes on her mission, has that incredible experience, right? Because I'm sure she would have been like an incredible missionary. Like she's social, and like she's also to talk to people, So I knew that her potential, So I knew she'd be a great missionary, and I couldn't take that from her, Right. But I knew if she stayed, like it's a commitment, because like if she's like foregoing her mission for you, And it's like. And that's pretty much as marriage, right? Like you will probably lead to marriage, So it was a big decision for the both of us. So and on my part, it was like, I was praying if like, if it was right too, like and she was praying like a lot more probably than me, because it was really banking on her if she was gonna stay around, right? But. And like I really was trying to be hands off of like I don't want to like be pressure you into staying, I want this to be your decision.
Yeah, so he was good about that.
But yeah, like he was like, can I see Lizzy being my wife? Like can I see this, like if she stays, like if this works out, or else if I didn't see her being my wife, I would just tell her to leave, like go on your mission. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like go. And so I always told Lizzy this, and like. In I think she loves this, but what I see in Lizzy is like I just see her as such a good mother, Like I just see her like I can just see her being like she was just born to be a mom, And she's not a mom yet, obviously, but like I just know, and I just know she would just raise such a good family, and like that's truly what I want, Like I want like a woman that wants to be a good mother, and like at the end of the day, right? Like I don't care if she works or not, Like I know that she has aspirations to be a school teacher and stuff, and like that's great, But she's just great around kids, and obviously beautiful. But but I just and so like I just knew that I just couldn't let this opportunity go. And then if she decided to leave on her mission, it's it's just kind of destiny. It's like all right, well, I might have to find somebody else, or we'll have to figure out maybe, it's 18 months is a long time. I know some people have waited, some people haven't, so it's just like, you don't know. But at the end of the day, I can't remember what month or like when you decided to stay. I can't remember this actually.
I remember this conversation with my mom. Maybe she'll remember this, but I was walking home from classes, and it like, I don't know, I like felt like I hadn't had like a distinct answer, but I called my mom and I was like, Mom, like I want to marry Cameron. And she's like, you do? And she just like, she kind of like started crying on the phone. It was the cutest thing ever. Like, she was just like, oh, and I like listed about all these things I loved about Cameron. And I was just like I've never met a man like him. And like, I feel like this is God's way of telling me like, he's the one. And so I like felt like I had kind of decided in my head that I was going to marry Cameron. And, like I told my mom that I wanted to marry him, but we hadn't been like, okay, I'm staying home for my mission. So we hadn't really like said anything to anybody. But I got really sick at the end of January, and I like got the flu, and I was like super, I don't know, what am I trying to say? Like, it's just super sick. Yeah, I was super fatigued. I was drinking so much water, and I was peeing a ton. And I was like, what is like going on? And my aunt is a nurse. Bless her heart. She saved me so many times. I tell her one morning, I'm like, hey, like Cheryl, do you know what these symptoms are? And I like tell her, and I had kind of researched, before like what my symptoms were, because one of the biggest ones was that I was losing vision. Like I couldn't see.
Yeah,
Like in a 1 day switch, like I went from being able to see the board in the back of the classroom to like I had to like squint to even see if I was in like the second row. Like I was so blurry.
She's like, Cameron, I need your phone. Like zoom in on the board.
Yeah, I had him like take
So we had a lot of
pictures.
classes that semester.
Yeah, we had a lot of classes
So she's like,
together.
I need your phone. I can't see the board. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is crazy.
I'd have him
I'm
like take pictures.
this is like, how do
This
your
ain't
vision
normal.
like, deteriorate?
In
Yeah,
one
that
day.
fast.
Yeah,
That's scary.
Yeah, so I had like
That's wild.
searched up symptoms like the night before, and ChatGPT told me that I had type 1 diabetes, like undiagnosed, and I was like, no freaking way, like that's so weird. And I recorded a video on my phone. I was like, guys, like I might have type 1 diabetes. Like, what is this? The next morning, I tell my aunt my symptoms, and she's like, you need to check your blood sugar right now. She's like, let me smell your breath. And I was like, what do you mean? Apparently, if your blood sugar is high, your breath will smell fruity. So that was pretty interesting.
That's
Anyways,
kind of a perk.
yeah, right? Pretty breath.
Smell, the sweet smell.
And so I have a diabetic friend. Her name's Lily. I love her to death, and she's like one of my best friends. And I gave her a call, and I was like, hey, this was at like 8 a.m. So I woke her up. I was like, hey, Lily, like, I'm so sorry. I'm like freaking out. Can you please come over? Like, can we test my blood sugar? And she was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, we can. And my aunt told me before she came over, she was like, if your blood sugar is over 400, we have to go to the hospital. So a normal range for somebody who does not have type 1 diabetes, their blood sugar should be anywhere from like 70 to like 180. We finger sticked, poked my finger, tested my blood, and it was 469. And I burst out crying. I probably said some words I shouldn't have. Like I was so upset, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to go to the hospital now. My aunt told me I would have to like stay for a week, and I was like, I have midterms. Like how is this gonna work out? And so we go to the hospital. An hour later, they check me in, and I'm 570. So it's going up. I hadn't eaten anything. An hour later, they test my blood sugar after I was admitted, and it was 670. And the doctor literally goes 670. I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
He actually did.
Oh my gosh. I forgot
it was
about that.
it was crazy. But
Meanwhile, okay, so for some context, like on this day, this morning, we had a date planned for it was our Valentine's date.
oh, this was February 7th. Sorry, I should
Yeah.
give a day. So
Yeah, but I
Cameron was going to
gonna
be gone the next week.
On Valentine's Day, I was going to be in New York with my
Yeah.
family, so we were like, okay, let's just do it a week early.
Yeah.
Right? So this was like a Saturday. This is a Saturday, right?
It was Saturday.
This is a Saturday, and so I was literally driving to her house to pick her up for this date.
And I was
like,
at the
already-
hospital.
And I had this whole thing planned. And then she's like, Cameron, don't come get me. I think I have type 1 diabetes. Like,
Like,
we're
going to the
gonna go to the
hospital.
hospital right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? I remember I just like went to a random thrift shop and just kind of like to clear my mind. I was just like looking at stuff, you know. Like,
He was
on,
waiting
man?
to see
Like,
if I had gotten admitted.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
and then I got the text from her and she's like, Cam, I have type 1 diabetes. Like it's confirmed now. And I'm like, wow, like it's like so life changing, especially it's traumatic because she
Yeah.
was 18. Like 18 is like kind of the end of the spectrum where like kind of kids get it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like so it's like super rare, I think, for her to be diagnosed at 18.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of shocking, like for both of us, right? Because it's like, wow, like we have like this kind of like this medical like trial to overcome, you know,
Yeah.
together, right? And so I kind of was I was talking to my parents. I was like, I think Lizzy has type 1 diabetes, and like, oh my gosh, they're shocked, you know. But it's interesting because my mom, she actually has a lot of friends that have kids that have type 1.
Yeah.
I think she has a friend that has type 1. So she actually like throughout her life has been interacting with these people that have type 1, and she's like been super curious about it, you know? So like she kind of knew a lot more than I thought, you know? And so I think that eventually helped Lizzy a little bit more as well. But it was crazy. So like she's admitted to the hospital and she has to stay overnight a couple days. And I was like, I can't go on that trip. Like I have to stay. Like, I have to stay here. I gotta help her out. Meanwhile,
I couldn't have visitors yet because I wasn't admitted, so that's why he was waiting.
Yeah, and I was just kind of waiting. I didn't know what to do, really. I was just like, oh my gosh, like my date was just canceled. And now I'm just kind of like, I don't really want to talk to my roommates about this because it's kind of personal stuff, So I just had to like go somewhere and just like be with my thoughts, And so meanwhile, she is being admitted to the hospital, right?
Yeah, so my aunt called my mom, and she was like, hey, like, well, she called my dad first because my mom didn't answer. And she was like, hey, like, we think Lizzy has type 1 diabetes. Like, we're bringing her to the hospital. So my mom drove down with my little sister, and she came in, and I'm, like, sitting in the emergency room, sitting on this bed with an IV in my arm and getting sugar in me because getting insulin in me because my blood sugar was so high. Yeah. And she's, like, kind of, like, crying. She's just like, oh, my gosh, like, I can't believe this. And it's kind of crazy. Like, out of all 10 kids, like, I'm the only one with type 1 diabetes. So I get admitted, and I have, like, a lot of time to think for the next 3 days as I'm sitting in the hospital, and they're monitoring me and giving me so much education about diabetes. And
3 days?
Yeah, 3 days. And like so many people came in and talked to me, and it was crazy. And I had a lot of friends come visit me, which I really greatly appreciated. But one of my friends texted me, and she was like, Lizzy, like, I didn't really know this, but she was like, no wonder you were called to the United States.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. Like, you cannot leave the United States if you have type 1 diabetes. And so I was like, that's crazy because there's not as much access to insulin in different countries, and it's like insurance doesn't really work over there. And I was like, wow, that's like crazy. And she was also like, no wonder you got called in May. And I was like, wow, like, you're right. Like, I would have had to come home from my mission if I had left in December, and I would have had to stay. But being like diagnosed in February and then having to leave in May, that would have given me a few months to adjust if I wanted to leave. So I was like, wow, this is like full circle moment. Like, God is really in the details. No wonder the disciples took so long. The disciples? The disciples.
The apostles? Yeah. Still works.
Same thing. No wonder the apostles took so long to choose where I should go. But yeah, it was really cool that it all worked out the way that it did. And then I got out of the hospital, and Cameron had decided that it would be better to stay with me instead of go on his trip the following weekend. And so his whole family went to New York without him, even though they planned the trip for him because he couldn't like go when they went on originally on his mission. So he stayed with me, and it was the sweetest thing ever because he like helped me in all my classes and brought snacks for me and juice if I needed it. And it was so sweet. He was just the perfect person.
And it's a rough transition from like, not having type 1 to having type 1. And it's just like, it's hard, and like Lizzy felt that like that first month it was like really hard for her.
It was,
because you have to, it's like stuff you never really think about, like counting your carbs and knowing like what level your blood sugar's at and stuff, So anyway, we really just we prayed together, and we decided that we needed to stay together, and this is going to be like a trial we'll have to overcome throughout our lives, right? Like it doesn't just go away, Yeah. But we're just kind of moving forward with faith that everything's going to work out, and like we want to get married, and we know that we're the people, like we're each other's halves, like we found each other, and this is meant to be, so we know like the challenges ahead, and but we just have faith. I just have faith that it's all going to work out, and that we're just going to make it work. And Lizzy has been so much better. Like she's like improved so much with like how she's dealing with it, and like she's a pro at it now. Like I've seen the growth.
Thanks.
Like how she deals with it. And at first it was really tough, but like we figured it out, and she's a trooper. Good thing she had her type 1 diabetic friend too. Like it's awesome that she God put these people in her lives.
Blessing.
But I think, Lizzy, you've done great.
Oh, thanks, Cameron.
And she's just going along. And she finally got her pump.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So that's
check
made
out
her
the bling.
So nice.
Boom.
Yes. Looking good. Yes.
So that's made her life a lot more easy.
Yeah,
sure.
That's been good.
Oh my gosh.
But we decided in the hospital, we're like, hey, let's get married. So we told our parents, and I canceled my mission the following week.
No way.
Called my bishop and my stake president, and he said, I'm not surprised. and canceled that. And then on Valentine's Day, we went ring shopping.
Oh my
So
That's right. That's what we
it
did on
was,
Valentine's Day.
yeah,
That's right.
it was so sweet. So crazy,
Crazy.
crazy thing.
It's an event, so.
Yeah, it was good. We
proposed to her in April.
Yes.
Yeah. In an orchard, you know.
Yes. Super
She-
cute place.
she's very picturesque. It was very cinematic.
It was so cute.
Sunset, you know.
Oh.
so,
Yeah.
so pretty.
It was so sweet.
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
just good. He's just the best.
Yeah, I love her.
Yes.
That is, yeah. You were saying this has lots of twists and turns. I was like,
We were like, your face being, you're like,
literally,
The whole
I'm gonna
time.
look back at the footage when I edit this, and my jaw will be like this
literally.
the entire time.
It was so fun hearing that for the first time too.
Yes.
Like I relate to this and I just love this and I know people will hear your story and be so inspired because
Aw.
I feel like so many times you can look at other people's lives and say, yeah, that's how I want to do it. But then God has different plans, you know?
Yes.
And it
Yes.
always turns out the way that he intends rather
Yes.
than like what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Do you have like a last little like takeaway you could tell people, maybe regarding like choosing to decide a different path than a mission or
Yeah.
health things or being in a relationship with health things? Like, what would you say as like a you got this? to them?
Yes. I got like two things. My bishop, our YSA bishop, he gave me some fantastic advice, and it's like advice I've given to so many people. He said, what are you going to have more sorrow over? Not going on a mission or not getting married to Cameron? And so that like was also something that helped me decide, because I was like, wow, like in all reality, I would be more sad if I didn't be with this guy. But yeah, I think that anybody like trying to decide between something big, like God is not going to give you a direct answer unless he does, which is pretty rare. Sometimes
That'd be
it's
awesome.
Right?
yeah, sometimes it's really hard to get those big yes or no's, but like it all pans out, you know, just in a way that I never would have realized, okay, this is why I had to be called to the States. This is why I got called in May. But it worked out for such a good reason. And now I have so many extra blessings in my life because I, you know, chose my own path. You know, I exerted faith and agency and chose to do things. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any advice?
I just think like I think just love overcomes, man. Like it's just like, it really does. Like I just think like over anything, like, you know, I think a lot of guys probably would have seen like the type 1 diabetes thing, and they would have been really shocked, you know,
Yeah.
kind of scared, like, oh my, like, do I really want to keep dating this girl? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a big thing.
it's gonna be tough, like, and you know, and I just thought, like, you know, I just gotta be there for her, you know, and like in this moment, I need to be there for her right now, and like I just need. It's just like caring for her in the hospital and stuff, just like made me love her even more, you know. So it's just like I think we're just meant to be together, you know, and like you know, and like this has been a really big spiritual journey for you, Lizzy, you know, but you know, I felt that too, you know, like I felt like we've both made that decision and we've felt like we've got the okay from God to really make this work, you know, and have a future family together and such, right? So, yeah, we're super excited to get married on August 14th.
Shout out.
Mount Timpanogos Temple. Honeymoon, Miami. It's gonna be fun. Anyway, so we're super excited for that.
So fun.
And yeah, life just goes on after that, right? And
Yeah.
Love that.
it's fun. We come from different backgrounds. Like her family's really big. Mine's kind of smaller. You know, I have two siblings. She has 9 or 8. Other
9.
9. Okay, 9. Yes.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun. It's been fun.
Holy cow.
Thanks for
been a
letting
fun
us
journey.
tell our story, guys.
You guys, it's such a cool story. It's unreal. And I think the coolest part is because you're right, like when hard things do happen, it can either like tear people apart
Or bring 'em so
bring 'em
close.
close.
Yes.
And like that clearly happened with you guys. Like
Yeah.
that's a hard thing to miss, a trip to New York.
You know?
That's where dreams are made of and stuff. So I
Yes,
think
sir.
that's so cool. Like when she was having back problems again, it's true. Like I felt that I was like, this is such a hard thing, but we
Yeah.
used it to get closer together. And I'm sure you saw this too when seeing her in the hospital. It's just like you watch someone you love hurt so bad, and it's just I've thought about this a lot. I think that's what the Savior feels when we're hurting so bad. I think he weeps with us when we suffer. And I think what you were talking about and how you helped Lizzy, I think that is just charity. I think that's the perfect way to describe it.
Pure
Yeah.
love of Christ.
Yeah.
Aw.
And I think if you guys like, when I am more charitable, and I know when I'm not, but when I am more charitable, life is so much easier and happier, even though it's so hard. Like
I
type 1
agree.
diabetes, that's hard stuff.
Kicking butt, dude. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. No, seriously, if you guys can go through this, you guys will just
We can
live
do
life.
everything
You
else,
can do
right?
anything.
Yeah.
It's cool that you've already established that. And thank you so much for coming on and sharing this. This,
Thank you.
this really like enlightened us. So, and
you
I
guys are
know
so
people will
much.
hear that and be like, "Oh, I knew I needed to listen to that." So, thank you.
Yes, thank you guys.
Oh
this
my
has been so good. We enjoyed this a lot.
Oh my goodness.
Thanks, guys.
Well, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank
that's
you
all.
guys. See you next week.
Bye.